Everyone, today we are going to see the most frequently used terms in homeopathy. Before starting the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe my channel. So let us begin. The first word which is most frequently used is the similimum. So similimum is the Latin word. Similimum is nothing but the similar characteristic between two things. And in homeopathy, what are that two things? It's the patient and the drug. But the meaning of the Latin word similimum is the similar in nature, in character, in action, means in whole aspect that thing should be similar, then it's called the similimum between that two. In homeopathy, we use to see the similar characteristics between the patient and drug, because the law of homeopathy states that similimum similibus curantur, which means that like will cure like. Okay, the similar characteristics, more will be the similimum between the patient and between the drug substance, and more will be the chances of the patient to get cure. So this is what similimum. Now let us see the another frequently used term in homeopathy and the important concept, that is the susceptibility. What is susceptibility? The fundamental quality of a living organism to react to any sort of stimuli that distinguishes the living from non-living. So it is the quality of a living which distinguishes a living from the non-living. It is the thing which gives the potential of living to a living organism. Okay. Now the susceptibility is important in homeopathy because while prescribing the medicine, more will be the potency of the drug substance to be prescribed. And susceptibility is more in children and in young age groups, because they are more energetic, they have more potential, whereas the susceptibility will be low in old age group. Because of age, the organ systems becomes weak, the potential becomes low, so the susceptibility also is low, and that's why lower potencies are prescribed in old age groups, whereas in children and young pleiotheric persons the susceptibility is high. Again, the susceptibility will be more in persons engaged in highly intellectual work. Okay, whereas the susceptibility is low in persons engaged in labor work. Why? Because they are engaging more their energy, so their potential is becoming less, and so the susceptibility will also be low. No proper food and lifestyle, whereas healthy food and lifestyle, the susceptibility will be more. In acute diseases, the susceptibility is more, whereas in chronic cases, the susceptibility is less, because in acute cases the degeneration of the vital force is not there, whereas in chronic cases there will be the degeneration of the vital force, which we are going to see the another important word, that is the vital force. What is vital force? Now I have not written the definition here of the vital force. You will find the definition of vital force in aphorism 9 to 19. I have summarized what is vital force. So vital force is a positive energy in a human being or in a living being, which is the life-saving force. Okay, and it brings a person towards life, it brings a person towards health. In short, it keeps a person healthy, it keeps a person away from diseases, it fights from the diseases, it's the immunity. In short, we can say vital force is nothing but the immunity of a person which fights against the diseases. It's purely energetic and immaterial. We cannot see the vital force, but it's the energy present, positive energy present in a living being. Now let us see the another frequently used term, and let us clear what's that word. That's a miasm. So miasm is nothing but an infectious or noxious emanation, an invisible power which produces continuous changes like information, induration, suppuration, or degeneration of cells or tissues. So it is after birth infectious power in a person present. Okay, after the birth of a person, of a living being, because of the environmental factors, there are changes in the information of the person, in the induration, in the capacity of the person, in the it can either produce suppuration of the person or degeneration. So based on that concept, what it produces in human being, the miasms is again classified as sora, syphilis, and psychosis. We are not gonna see these miasms in deep, but the basic concept of what is a miasm, it's nothing but opposite to vital force, which will produce diseases in a human being. Now let us see another word which is used, that is the diathesis. What is diathesis? It's also a negative force. Okay, the constitutional or inborn state disposing to a inborn disease or metabolic or structural anomaly. So it is also going to produce metabolic or structural anomaly, will signify a disease power, but it is something which is inherited from the parents, from the foreparents. So it's an inherited character. For example, tuberculosis. If person family parents have that tuberculosis, then it's the chances that the child also carries the tubercular diathesis. So it is a predisposing disease power present in a person. So it's clear. Till now we have seen the vital force, the positive energy, the miasm, that's the negative energy, and it's produced after the birth, whereas the diathesis, which is an inherited characteristic of a person, disease characteristic, that are the chances of the person that the person might get is susceptible to that disease. So these were some frequently used terms in homeopathy. If you found my video helpful, do not forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.